You know that oversized t-shirt that you got at that event or as a gift or that you bought to support that cause you feel really strongly about? It doesn't have to die a lonely death at the bottom of your drawer. Hello there, welcome back to the June Made channel. My name is Paula Jean and this is part two of my little Refashion alteration series. If you missed part one, you can go back and watch it now, you can watch it after. They are in no particular order. In that one, I altered one of my husband's sweaters to fit my body and my style, and in this one, I am tackling, you guessed it, 2 oversized t-shirts. So let's get right into it and I will see you on the other side. This is my Sloth t-shirt, clearly, that my sweet husband, Neil, bought me. I'm a big fan of Sloths. And this one will just be a straight t-shirt to t-shirt transformation. I'm going to use the basic comfy tee pattern that I always use. It's my tried and true pattern. It's the Comfy Tee by Pattern Scout. It's a fairly close-fitting tee, and this isn't super stretchy fabric, but it shouldn't be a problem. I might just give myself a little bit more room to play with on the side seams, but this one should be pretty simple. And this t-shirt is from our friends' company, Awake Dreamers. They make t-shirts and sweatshirts and kind of casual clothing that is all ethically sourced and ethically made from organic cotton. It's super soft, it feels really nice. So my husband got a sweatshirt and I got a big t-shirt because I alter all my t-shirts, so I just get the biggest size that they offer. I don't know if this is the biggest size they offer, but this is the size that we ordered. With this one, I might try to do a raglan sleeve. I think a raglan sleeve line would look really nice and kind of echo this rainbow rainbow design on it really nicely. I'll see if I end up with enough length at the bottom to just do a short raglan sleeve and maybe put contrasting bands on it. I'm going to put a contrasting collar. I think that will work. I haven't pulled the pattern out yet. This one will be my green style Waimea rash guard pattern, which is one of my go-to patterns as well. I love it. It's got like a dart in the sleeve, so it makes a nice curve over the shoulder. I love it. So we'll see if that's gonna work. I think that's all I have so far.
Since I don't have any ribbing that would coordinate with this color, I'm going to reuse what's on the t-shirt by removing the taping and the rib neckband, using every sewist's favorite tool. As you can see by the changing light, this takes no time at all. Having successfully removed the neckband, I can now move on to the t-shirt and take it apart using my rotary cutter and cutting off all the serged seams. Once it's all taken apart, I can use this just like any other fabric by just placing on the pattern pieces and cutting it out. And then I can put it back together again on my serger.
And ta-da! New and improved, better fitting Sloth. I totally forgot that I wanted to give myself a little bit extra room because this pattern calls for at least 50% stretch in the fabric horizontally, and this has maybe 4, but it still turned out great. And I usually wear my t-shirts under things anyway, so I don't like to have a whole lot of extra fabric, and this is why I alter all my t-shirts. But here's the fun part. When I wear my overalls, he peeks out over the bib. Tell me that wouldn't make you smile if you saw this walking down the street at you. All right, we are in the home stretch.
and it is dark and rainy and dreary outside today, so I hope you can see and hear me. Anyway, on to the rainbow tee. My plan for this was basically this. I got this during an era that we all remember, and it was just a oversized green tee. I used the t-shirt for the front and the back. I had some white jersey that I used to make the sleeves, and I used the leftover t-shirt fabric to make the bands. The pattern that I used was the Green Style Creations Waimea Rash Guard, and that is what I was hoping to do here. However, the problem that I ran into was twofold. First, so I took the t-shirt apart, and when I put the front on the front, the design is placed so high on the chest that I don't have any wiggle room between the neckline and the design. So I have to put the pattern piece right up at the top. And when I do that, I don't have enough at the underarm seam because this larger t-shirt is so big and cut out here that the pattern piece extends beyond here. That point hits right basically at my bust line, and I need that space. So that wasn't going to work. Also, even if it did, I wasn't going to have enough at the bottom to do even a short raglan sleeve because it's just a much bigger sleeve than a regular t-shirt. So I had to give up on that idea. So I thought maybe the comfy tee again, same one as the Sloth shirt. However, once again, because of where I need to place it in accordance with the design, I still do not have enough for my bust line. So I thought, well, maybe it's okay to put the design on the back, because for the back piece, I have plenty because my back is narrower than my front. So that would work. I can place the design kind of right behind my heart, and maybe that would be okay. And then I got a sign from the universe that this was exactly the thing to do, because as I was working all of this out, my husband called me into the kitchen and pulled me out onto the back porch and showed me the most beautiful, huge double rainbow off the back. And if that's not a sign that that's what's supposed to happen with this t-shirt, I don't know what is. So that's what we're going with. Now, I still wanted to do something cool with the sleeves. So I had, and I can use the original sleeves from the t-shirt because they're the same shape. The pattern is the same shape as the original sleeves. So these are some scrappity scraps that I had that totally coordinate with the colors in the rainbow. I also have some of this steel blue rib knit that is actually earmarked for another project, but I can sacrifice a little bit of it for the bottom part of a sleeve. So I got enough out of those scraps to create some stripes, which I serged the edges of, and then used that serge edge as a guide to hem over, basically as a hem. And I made a mock-up for you that looks like this. So I have the top part of the original sleeve using the comfy tee pattern. And then I have ribbing as the bottom, and then these sleeves are pinned on here. And basically I'm going for a look that is sort of a faux short sleeve over long sleeve shirt. And here, let me just see if I can give you a little taste of how that's gonna look. So that'll come around here, and basically that's what it's gonna look like. And then on the front, it'll just be gray, but on the back, I'm gonna have that awesome rainbow. And then I also saved, oh, yes, I do. I also saved the ribbing from the neckband, and I'll use that as the finish on the sleeves. And then I'm going to use just a little bit more of this blue ribbing as the contrast band for the neck. So I think it's all going to come together and maybe even look better than my original idea. That's what I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna put all of this together as soon as I clean up this big mess. I do start and end with a clean space so that I can make this mess in the middle. That's just my creative process. To construct the sleeve, I'll be using the Comfy Tee sleeve pattern in 2 parts. I've cut off the top part at the short sleeve line, and I've used that on the original sleeve to make the top half. For the bottom, I have marked a line about 3/4 of the way down the sleeve and folded that back to use that on the ribbing. Once I have my 2 parts, I can put them right sides together and stitch them on my serger. Then I'll give it a good press and mark a line 1.5 inches up from the serged seam, and I'll use that as a guide to fold the serged line up to. I'll steam in that crease, turn it over, and about 1/2 inch up from that crease, I'm going to mark another line that I can use as a guide for stitching. And I'll be using a double needle for this one. Once I have that nice, neat stitching line, I can go ahead and apply my stripes. I have all my matching thread, and I'll be using a tiny zigzag to apply them. Then it's a sewing choreography of measuring and placing and changing thread, wash, rinse, repeat. After giving them a good press, I can then start putting the t-shirt together by constructing the bodice, attaching the sleeves, and finish up by sewing the side seams together and attaching the ribbing to the neckline and the sleeve hems.
They look great. They look exactly the way that I thought they would, and that makes me very happy. However, I wore this last night while I was making dinner, and this rib knit is very textured, and it turns out I'm learning after 54 years on this planet that I have sensitive inner elbows, and they do not like the texture of this rib knit here. So what that means is snip, 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 go the scissors. But you worked so hard on those. It's okay, it's okay. These will not go to waste. They are just meant for a different garment to go on a bit heavier fabric. I already have an idea of how I'm gonna use them, but I don't want to be thinking about how my inner elbows feel every time I look at this t-shirt. I'm doing this so that I put it into more regular rotation in my wardrobe. So I'm gonna cut these off, use a little bit more of this rib knit right here, and this will just be a cute ringer tee that I reach for much more often, and everyone will be happy. Or at least I will be. Wait, what? Okay, first, the sleeves. Love them, absolutely the right thing to do. Now, as much as I love the big party going on in the back, I may have felt that the front was missing a little something after I took off the sleeves. And I may have found some transfer paper that I had from a gift that I made for my brother a few years ago. And I may have downloaded my friend's logo and shrunk it down and ironed it right here on the center of my chest. Now, you may remember that when we had that amazing rainbow a couple of days ago, that was actually a double rainbow, so I kind of feel like I'm just following the signs here. Also, check this out. It's gonna be a video all about me getting dressed in front of you. Now, I have been wanting for a couple of years now to get a pair of roller skates, and I feel like with this going on, I kind of have to, right? Right?
Thank you so much for joining me on this road to bespoke t-shirts journey. And yes, even the t-shirt that I'm wearing, which was a lovely gift from my parents from when they went to Alaska. I didn't wear it as much until I shortened it and altered the sleeves and shortened them and made it a V-neck. And now I wear it all the time under jackets, vests, on its own, and I love it so much more. So if that got you thinking a little bit differently about the t-shirts that might be languishing in the bottom of your drawer, consider giving me a like, a subscribe, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time.